Most of the time, cartoons are light-hearted stories with lovable characters offering a moral lesson or feel-good adventure. Occasionally, however, a simple animated series will unexpectedly punch you right in your emotions, offering poignant scenes that can make even the most hardened tough guy weep. Here are a few times cartoons probably made you cry. Adventure Time, Marceline and the Ice King. The adventures of Finn and Jake through the incredible land of Ooo are generally pretty fun, but Adventure Time isn't afraid to get pretty deep and tragic. Whether it's about Finn's lost parents or, well, his arm literally getting ripped off, few moments reach as deep as the episode I Remember You. Marceline, an ancient vampire in the form of a teenage girl, is constantly annoyed by the princess-stealing Ice King, but it isn't until now that we really know why. At one point long ago, the Ice King had rescued Marceline from a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and they were best friends. The sadness unfolds as Marceline reads a series of notes that the Ice King wrote to her before he completely lost his mind, which are basically an apology for losing his mind, all set to music.
Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you.
Wow, I wrote that? Hot stuff.
He no longer remembers what they once meant to one another. For anyone who's ever dealt with an aging grandparent, expect the waterworks to flow pretty hard. Futurama, Fry's dog. While Futurama was definitely a comedy, it never shied away from creating stories that were genuinely emotional, whether it was Fry's undying love for Leela or Leela's search for her parents. Few stories hit as hard as Fry's love for his pup and vice versa. In Jurassic Bark, Fry finds the fossilized remains of his dog, Seymour, and asks the professor to revive him. Just before the process begins, Fry learns that Seymour lived to a ripe old age of 15 and died of natural causes, 12 whole years after Fry disappeared. Choosing not to revive Seymour, Fry smashes the professor's machine.
Oh sure, smash the smart guy's machine.
And makes peace with Seymour's passing. Fry believes that Seymour had forgotten him over 12 years. This is when the audience really gets an emotional gut punch. We see Seymour sitting in front of Fry's pizza place year after year, waiting for him to return, as Connie Francis's I Will Wait For You plays until he presumably lays down for the last time. And you thought you could watch a science fiction comedy about an idiot pizza boy and a belching larcenous robot without shedding a tear, didn't you? Rugrats, Chucky's mom. Between the morals, educational plots, and misunderstood words for kids to learn from and enjoy, Rugrats hit viewers with an incredibly hard episode about Mother's Day. Why is that so tough? Well, because Chucky's mom died shortly after he was born.
You don't got to, Mom, do you, Chucky? Nope. How come? I don't know. I just don't got one.
After the children are thrown into a dark closet by Angelica, they find a photograph of Chucky's mom. His dad is clearly saddened just by looking at the photo and ultimately decides to talk to his son about his mother. They find a diary with a beautiful poem written from a dying mother to her son, and Chucky learns that his mother planted the flowers in the garden and takes his friends there to show them.
See, guys? I do have a mom. She's right here in the flowers.
Thanks, Nickelodeon, for making us weep like babies. The Simpsons, Homer's mom. There have been more than 600 episodes of The Simpsons, though few were more heart-wrenching than watching Homer finally reunite with his long-lost mother. The episode Mother Simpson introduced us to Mona Simpson.
I almost always spoil the moment. I'm sorry.
Until this point, Homer had believed his mother had been dead for 27 years, but it turned out she was on the run from the law. In 1969, she participated in a plot to destroy Mr. Burns' germ warfare laboratory, and to keep her family safe, she felt she needed to run. Her story comes out when she's cited by Burns, who calls the FBI to finally take her out. Once again, Mona has to run away from her son.
At least this time I'm awake for your goodbye.
For a show that parents once argued should be banned for being inappropriate, this episode took a turn and showed the world how heartwarming a bunch of dysfunctional yellow boneheads could actually be. Regular Show finale. Many fans of Regular Show had spent 6 years growing up and sympathizing with the show's main characters, a slacker blue jay and a raccoon who loved video games and were stuck in a dead-end job at a park. Peppered with 1980s references throughout, it was clearly a show meant for late 20-somethings. So when the show ended after 8 seasons, a little part of every viewer died also. After being trapped in space for a season, the series ends with the death of Pops, the show's most unassuming and positive character, sacrificing his life to save the park and his friends. The crew returns to Earth after 3 years, reunites with their families, memorializes Pops with a statue, and everyone eventually decides that it's time to move on. Despite sharing a huge portion of their lives together at the park, everyone moves in different directions, because that's what being an adult is all about. People dying, moving away from your friends, and reinventing everything you thought to be true. On the plus side, everyone seems pretty content, and they're all still friends. On the other hand, Regular Show basically told all of its viewers that they couldn't stay young forever, and that totally sucks. And the kicker? Remember? The whole ending scene was set to David Bowie's Heroes, reminding us of the death of one of our real-life heroes. Hey Arnold, Mr. Wynn's daughter. When a goofy show mostly known for a kid who looks like he's half human, half football makes you think you're actually watching a documentary about the Vietnam War, that's as real as a cartoon can get. That's what viewers got with the Hey Arnold episode, Arnold's Christmas. Mr. Wynn recalls the story of his life in Vietnam as a montage of imagery depicts the ongoing war. As the Americans begin to pull out of Saigon, Mr. Wynn gives up his baby girl to an American soldier, hoping she'll be safe. There is no way of knowing if he'll ever see her again, and as he recounts the tale, it's clear he hasn't. After an epic quest by Arnold, who himself is without parents, and a nudge from his affectionate bully Helga, Mr. Wynn finally meets his daughter for the first time since they were separated. If that doesn't make you shed even a single tear, you are truly a cold, unfeeling monster. Family Guy. Brian's death. For a series that favors fart jokes and incredibly large amounts of vomit, it's rare that a scene in Family Guy takes a turn towards sadness. In a surprise episode during its 12th season, Brian gets hit by a car and is killed. Frankly, there was nothing funny about this episode. We see the beloved dog get mowed down in the street while his best buddy Stewie watches. Hard to joke about that, really. Brian dies on a vet's table after saying goodbye.
You've given me a wonderful life. I love you all.
And there are no jokes to be found. The subsequent scenes of the family dealing with the loss are heartbreaking. Fans were upset, and it was anyone's guess whether or not Brian would somehow return to the show. Of course, he came back rather quickly thanks to some time travel shenanigans, and Family Guy went right back to its usual gross-out humor. But it's still amazing that the show proved it can be human when it wants to be, even if it was just once. Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.